Hi guys, and welcome to the Boldly Ambitious podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Liddy.
And I'm Hazal.
We're doctors, founders, and entrepreneurs in their 20s.
And this is a space for the ambitious girlies chasing big dreams and building bold lives. And guys, today we are joined by royalty.
Royalty.
Dr. Khadija Owusu, an award-winning medical doctor, global health advocate, international speaker, and founder of the AKAYA Foundation. Her work has taken her to the White House, TEDx stage, and to the Forbes 30 under 30 list, all whilst using her platform to amplify underrepresented voices and creating systems where girls and women can lead and flourish. Welcome, Khadija.
Hi,
Yeah, did you miss out anything? I know they're listening.
Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast today. I am so excited to just hear everything you have to say.
Thank you guys for having me. Honestly, appreciate it.
Before we get into the global impact you're making, I'm curious, what were you like when you were younger, and what did ambition mean to you?
Oh, when I was younger, I would definitely say complete opposite. Before, let's say primary school age, I was definitely very shy, keeping to myself, not really
shy?
vocal. Yeah,
Wow.
Believe it or not, I was. But then when I progressed into secondary school, things started to really shift in terms of understanding what I really want to do, speaking up for others, taking up space in leadership positions, and understanding that, this is my purpose really. So
So what do you think your early influences were of sort of being more ambitious and being more outspoken? Did you have any pivotal moments that caused that change?
Definitely, I would say number one is my mum. So I grew up in North London, actually. Born in Tottenham, raised in Finsbury Park most of my life. So North London through and through. In a single parent household, not coming from a lot of money, low socioeconomic household. And mum was a really, really, or she still is, a key pillar in our home. So seeing her hard work in terms of making sure she's looking after her 3 kids, one of whom has sickle cell anemia, but also making sure that there's food on the table at the same time as well. So that sort of hard work, resilience, discipline came innately. But then when I found myself in environments that enabled me to flourish, in terms of, you then understand that it doesn't matter what your background or your current circumstances are, you can still amount to something. That is what my secondary school environment really honed in on us. The motto is to be without limits. And that was really where I started to come out of my shell. And even, secondary school was a crucial period where meeting Michelle Obama came about. So it just became a thing of, well, if you've been a young Black girl that's been able to be inspired and engage with such a powerful woman that we look up to, definitely there's no room for me to not rise and not bring others with me. So definitely.
How did that actually even come about? You can't just throw Michelle Obama in there and glaze. How did that actually come about?
So, I think it was 2008 or 2009 when they were first elected. And obviously everyone around the world is like, oh my gosh, the first Black family. So usually they do a state visit to the UK. And when they first came to the UK, she really wanted to visit a girls' school. Some way, somehow, it ended up being my school. But I think at the time I was in year 8 and I was a part of the junior choir. And they were getting us prepped to perform for somebody. They didn't really tell us who it was.
They didn't tell you?
No, not at all.
No
so we
way.
were just thinking it's
some random
alumni superstar that they're so obsessed with. But then the day comes, the whole school is boarded up. There's paparazzi.
Wow.
So many people standing outside, a huge crowd. And we're like, we're not special. Because even years prior, the school had a bad rep. So we get on stage. Lo and behold, she walks across the stage.
That is great.
We're
That's
like,
crazy.
You know, I think my jaw would have dropped.
Yeah,
to the floor.
at the time BBC were there, and when I came home and they were showing it on the news, they literally zoomed in on my face like this, and I was like, oh my gosh. So that's her first engagement at the school. Fast forward year 10, she wanted some girls out in DC, so we went to DC for about a week, in and out the White House, engaging with her, engaging with powerful women of color in America, doing amazing things and just pouring into us. And she's maintained an amazing relationship with the school. She was supposed to come, still to this day.
Wow.
She was supposed to come for her book tour, Becoming, when it was released, but COVID, so we had to do a virtual interview.
Right.
I believe it was last year or 2 years ago. She wrote a letter I came home, it says Office of Barack and Michelle Obama. I said, what have I done? Am I getting arrested? So she wrote me a lovely letter, bless her. And yeah, she still maintains the relationship. So yeah.
That must have been so like life-changing actually.
yeah.
It must have really like done something to your psyche to be exposed to something so extraordinary at such a young age.
Definitely, because I was 14 around the time when we went to DC.
Wow.
And I think back at those moments and I'm like, I probably really didn't deep it that much, but it did shift something. It's just I probably didn't realize it.
Looking
but
back.
I'm seeing it in what I do now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow, how amazing. Well, let's get a bit more into you. So a lot of people can chase success for the accolades, but you've built a career rooted in purpose. How do you find what truly drives you?
For me, it always goes back to your why. In terms of, let's say, the work that I've been able to be a part of from Melanin Medics through to AKAYA Foundation, there's always a reason as to why I am doing so. And when it comes to the challenging moments, which there are tons, especially in the nonprofit space, and especially if you are not just building in the UK, but also abroad, whether it be in Africa or wherever else. In those moments, it is the why that keeps me going still. So for me, my why initially was I wanted to see young Black people like me here in the UK who don't come from much, thriving in spaces where you don't necessarily see them. And if I've gone down the medical route, it has to be medicine, because when we started medical school, you could count on one hand how many Black medical students there are. I think times have changed. We're seeing more and more Black students coming through the pipeline, but we still need to do a bit more. And then slowly finishing medical school, it transitioned towards young women and girls, ensuring that we provide you, or I provide you with the tools necessary to lead effectively, and so that you can thrive, not just for yourself, but also for your communities and the people around you. So yeah.
It's like passing down the ladder, no matter what chapter of your life you're in.
One thing I really want to get into though, like a question that I want to know, you said that you started off with med students and you kind of transitioned into the female space. I think quite similarly to us, of course, we have Journey to Med, our social mobility charity focused on medicine, but I think over time we found that, you know what, just ambition for people who feel like it's not for them, like there's ambition has a background, a race, a gender, you know, that's another capacity through which you want to do social mobility. How did you realize for yourself that it was not time to climb up and go to the next step, but that you wanted to switch or shift your purpose-driven mission?
I think for me, it got to final year of medical school. At that time, Melanin Medics was around 3-4 years old. And I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm about to finish medical school. Melanin Medics is doing so well, thank God. The team is growing. We are getting the right support we need. We're doing the necessary work. We're seeing a shift in, you know, the face of medicine. I thought to myself, long-term wise, how do I see myself? And for me personally, it was that I see my impact going beyond the UK, going beyond helping people who want to become doctors. And it goes... And I said, if I'm going to do anything beyond the UK, it has to start from my second home. And that has to be Ghana. So I said, I've got an elective coming up. I'm going to use that time to just try something. And that trying has turned into AKAYA today.
How beautiful.
Guys, mind you, for those of you who don't know what Melanin Medics is like this amazing nonprofit organization that helps, you know, people of Black students, to be honest, Black aspiring medics get into medical school because of all the barriers, the systematic barriers and other factors that are put in place sometimes. When I tell you, it literally was one of the things that helped me get into medical school and also inspired me to start Journey to Med. So I just think that's so amazing to start an organization and a mission that influences other people to do something similar. Big you up, Khadija.
And to see it through and to see it to a position where you can say, we've achieved and I'll continue to achieve our mission. It's so beautiful.
Definitely. And I think I was just at a conference over the weekend, and one of the current team members at Melanin Medics, we were just talking about AKAYA and stuff, and I was like, AKAYA wouldn't be possible without the experience that I had in terms of us building Melanin Medics to what it is today. And now it's an 8-year-old organization. I'm now passive in the position that I serve within Melanin Medics, just on the board of trustees. But to see that we go beyond helping aspiring medics with taking part in research, publishing papers, it's programs for current doctors. It's
this is not something small, guys. This is a big
sitting on, you know, boards of the GMC and BMA, and it's through obviously our hard work in the beginning, but it wouldn't be possible without Alamede. So I'm going to give her flowers. Shout out to my sis.
Shout out to Alamede.
So
as we touched on, your journey has taken you from community projects here in the UK to global stages, whether that be TEDx, Forbes, 30 under 30. 30 under 30, guys.
Can we actually do that?
And even the White House. What were the key steps that helped you scale your voice and your vision?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think for me, I've always been an advocate of document your journey, and whichever social media platform you find to be yours or one that you prefer, make sure you are documenting your journey so people can see your natural progression. People always ask me, there's not a single day where I get a DM, how do I become a public speaker? I'm scared of failing, or how do I build a personal brand or whatever. I'm just like, go on whichever social media platform it is and just say something, post something, share something. People often downplay the things that they do and think it's not worthy of being posted, which I completely disagree with, because I started from somewhere. I started consistently, let's say, building a community on LinkedIn when I was at some point in medical school. It would be maybe one particular event that I went to or something that I hosted or went to speak at, and I'll just post it on LinkedIn. And naturally sharing things that I learned along the way, other people seeking inspiration and motivation from the content, and just growing that way. But even then, we often get so bogged down by the numbers and engagement and all of this stuff. Just post, just do. I was just telling you that I'm now getting addicted to TikTok. I've been holding off on TikTok for God knows how long. I was a chronic scroller. I just
doom scrolling.
But then people were like, why are you not on TikTok? Why are you not on TikTok? So one day, I don't know what, I think God just said, do it. I posted my first TikTok. I think now it's on, 200K, 300K views.
Wow.
And I was like, this is the first TikTok that I've posted. Wow. And I said to myself, I'm going to be consistent. So I've posted every day since whatever day in July.
Well done, man.
And it's been 3 months and I'm almost at 10K in 3 months. And I was like, what was I waiting for? All that time.
Sometimes we're our own enemy.
Honestly, it's so true. So, for me, it's documenting my journey along the way. Naturally, you will find the opportunities come where you then build that voice of thought leadership. So for me, predominantly initially, as I said, racial equity, health inequalities, diversity, representation in medicine. That's where a lot of our engagements came through, not just personally, but also through Melanin Medics and serving as a voice for Black medics, especially during COVID. And that's how just things took off, really. And sometimes you actually do also have to seek out these opportunities. Right, don't be afraid to ask yourself at all. Can
we go into that a tiny bit more? Like, what do you think is the importance of visibility when you're trying to, become a public figure or a public speaker or go on to make global impact?
It's so important. I think now, especially where I'm in a position to give such opportunities to other people, if I go on your profile and I don't see evidence of you speaking, I'm not going to want to request for you to speak, whether it be to speak to my girls in Ghana or in the UK or speak on a Melanin Medics program. It's not going to happen because where's the evidence? Even if it's just you speaking to a classroom of your fellow students or whatever it is, we all have smartphones. Record something, take a picture, whatever. Do your typical LinkedIn post or do your little vlog on TikTok or Instagram. As long as I'm seeing that, okay, you've done this, so you have some skill, I can give you that opportunity for you to further build on. So the visibility is so important. And I think everybody must do so. If you're somebody that doesn't like pictures or videos, you don't like being on camera, people are doing newsletters right now and thriving. So just make sure there is some documented evidence of you doing what it is that you're aspiring to do. Otherwise, how are we going to know?
Exactly. I always say it doesn't matter how amazing or skilled you are. If no one knows about it, you're never going to get the opportunities or the results or the outcomes that you are after. I think in this day and age, personal brand is the new currency. And I think if you want a certain level of, I don't want to say success because everyone's definition of success is different, but of visibility, crazy opportunities, global impact, it needs to come with something that will allow you to be seen globally. And that is visibility. In most cases, 2025, on visibility online, whatever that may look like for you.
And I feel like similar to what you've been saying, we're in a time where you can reach the whole world. Like I saw a TikTok the other day where it was like, this is the first generation where you can pretty much reach, you can reach the most amount of people in the whole world. And I think we take that for granted. 200k views is like incredible if you think about it, because that's like the population of some countries. And I think because the numbers, we're just so used to seeing the numbers, we forget what's behind those numbers. Every single number is a person. And no other time in history have you been able to reach that many individuals in one given time so quickly and so accessibly. And it can be daunting, especially when you're looking at the followers and the engagement. But all you have to do is start. And all you have to do is just be consistent. Because we started, 6 years ago? And we didn't start for monetization, or we didn't start looking for certain results. We started because there was that passion, and I'm sure similar to you as well. And that's why you need to make sure that you need to think deep and really check yourself and say, am I doing this for the right reasons? Because if you are doing it for monetary gains, you're going to stop within 10 days when you don't see any monetary gain. We didn't see monetary gain for like 3-4 years. So you need to make sure that, similar to what you said, your why is very clear and is specific to you, and you're not just chasing what other people are chasing.
But I would add though, if you are starting a personal brand for monetary purposes, I don't think there's anything wrong with that within itself to kind of diversify your income. But I do think having a why and a greater purpose beyond monetary gain is useful because of how difficult it can be, and because of the tedious journey that comes with it.
That's right.
Guys, if you're enjoying this episode so far, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you are listening on an audio platform, please make sure to leave a 5-star review. And today we are actually filming our podcast episode in the Myriad Studios. So if you're looking for a studio to film in London, make sure to check them out. The link will be in the description box down below. So we're going to shift the topic slightly. In what ways has your identity shaped the way you lead, show up, and advocate for others?
That's a good one.
Yes.
We're making you think.
Yes. I think for me, when it comes to my leadership or my leadership style and how my identity influences it, I would say it's maybe 2 words. Authenticity plus servant leadership. And what that looks like for me is I'm just myself. Even when my the girls that we work with through the foundation, they either meet me or they've been engaging with me for God knows how many months, they are always just shocked that I'm just so approachable and friendly and like Dr. K, So for me, that's my number one. I want people to always find me to be super approachable. You can ask me anything, especially when it comes to our beneficiaries, that I am always there. The other thing also in terms of servant leadership is I don't believe in that whole dictator mess in terms of, okay, I'm the founder, I'm the boss, whatever BS. No, it's if my purpose is to serve others, I need to make sure that I'm giving you the platform in order to not only, I guess, influence the kind of work that we do, but also for you to thrive and shine on your very own platform as well. So what that looks like is consulting team members, whatever programs we have out there, whatever events, whatever, anything that we do, it's not a decision that I've just made on my own. It's through me consulting the team that we work with or even the girls that we serve. Because, and I always say this, as much as we do our work in Ghana predominantly, and a bit of Kenya as well, I don't know what it's like to be a young girl that grew up in Ghana that couldn't afford a sanitary pad. There's that level of lived experience that I don't necessarily have. It's my girls that have that. So if we are going to implement anything back home, they are the ones that know what they need. When it comes to black girls here, I can relate, definitely. But back home, it's a different ball game. So making sure that they are involved in such processes is so paramount and important to me. I just see myself as somebody that is able to bring people together, collect the resources, and ensure that we can just help each other for the greater good. Yeah.
I love that. And to touch on what you said earlier, how do you stay rooted in who you are when you're operating on such global levels?
Yeah.
Mrs. Forbes.
Mrs. White House. I think for me, I don't know if it kind of relates to the fact that I'm somebody that is, if whatever accolade comes, I'll celebrate in the moment, but my mind is already on the next thing, which is a good and bad thing. So, and Dr. Joyce always, if she could slap me on this, she would.
Shout out to
Joyce. So for me, it's, yes, nice. But I'm like, okay, there's still work to be done. So that's how I guess it helps me stay true to who I am. And in any room or stage, whatever it is, high level environment where I'm the only girl, only black person, only the youngest in the room, I'll get maybe like 5 seconds of, oh my gosh, like, should I be here? It did happen to me one time in New York, actually. One event where they asked me to be on a roundtable discussion in terms of shaping healthcare in Africa. And when I entered the room, everybody had their name cards, whatnot, but everybody else was a bit old. I was like,
a few years older.
But it's like a 5 second moment of doubt, and then I don't have time for that. It's go time.
Yeah.
I'm here because I am qualified to be here.
Exactly.
I do deserve to be here. And clearly, if I'm the only young person here, I'm going to speak for the rest of the young people on the continent of Africa and also globally at this point. So
no, let's just take a moment.
So for me, it's just bringing myself to wherever I go, whatever room, accolade it is.
Why do you think you're bad at celebrating your wins? Someone with so many wins under her belt.
Right.
Why do you think you're bad at celebrating them?
The intersection between gratitude and ambition.
I think the gratitude is always there, definitely. And New York, every single day that I would come back to my hotel room, I would just be speechless.
Do you want to provide context in New York for our listeners?
So this year I was invited to the United Nations General Assembly week. So usually every September, towards the end of September, it's a high-level week in New York where just world leaders, change makers, as well as the politicians from almost every single country in the world are in New York for just a series of meetings that happen within the UN. But also in that week, a lot of side events are happening. So many different organizations, businesses, corporations are having their own sort of little events. It's a crazy, crazy week. So much traffic in New York. You have to walk everywhere. But essentially, I had a couple speaking engagements within the week for the side events, but also on the Thursday, the UN did their first ever youth conference. So they had youth come in from around the world to have this sort of high level meeting, which they had never done, which is a shame. It's 2025 now. And young people around the world are doing so much in terms of just changing lives, not even just lives, but also in terms of tackling climate change. But you don't often see them at these high level places having such discussions and also being able to engage, the senior people. So it was a really amazing day, packed day, where I was at the UN. I spoke a bit about the work that we do at AKAYA, but also just providing a bit of a wake up call. Whenever we have young people in the room, we clap our hands like it's an achievement. It shouldn't have to be. It should be an everyday thing where we have a spot or spaces at the top. So that was New York. And just every day I'll come back to my hotel room like, is this my life?
Congratulations, man. Honestly, that is huge. That is huge.
But yeah, just generally, my brain is always on. There's a million tabs open. So once something is done, on to the next. And I remember at the Zoom event that we had to close our UK program, Joyce was like, "Stop. We're going out for dinner." I said, "Dinner for what?" Like, yeah, everybody's going home. Let's go home. She's like, "Khadija, stop." She grabbed me and she was like, "Stop! Look what you've done.
Yeah,
look what you've done." I said, "Okay, yeah, let's take pictures and go." But yeah, it's something that I am gradually getting better at doing. And resting a lot more as well. Good. But yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah. And I think as well, like as kind of high achievers and people who, maybe in extraordinary spaces like you are, I think when we do certain things, it's kind of like I don't know, I know for me, I associate as an obligation. Like, of course I graduated from medical school. Of course I did this. Of course I did that. What else was I meant to do? Yeah. That sometimes you're so used to things being an obligation that you don't realize it's actually a huge achievement that's worthy of celebration.
That's true.
So I think it's amazing to see that it's something that even if you reach your level of kind of greatness and impact, that you can still struggle with, and that's okay. It's kind of about recognizing that and trying to be proactive in ensuring that you're still present for those wins,
True.
Yeah. So as we all know, ambition can be very exciting, but also very, very exhausting. What keeps you going when things get tough or impact feels like it's slow or invisible?
What keeps me going? I think in terms of what I touched on earlier in terms of understanding or knowing your why, always just referring back to that point, it gives you a bit of a kick in terms of, well, it's a difficult season now, but there's a reason why you started whatever it is that you started, or why you're doing whatever it is that you're particularly doing. And nobody said it was going to be an easy thing to do. Right. Life in itself is mad. Outside of whatever projects or activities or things that we're really passionate about, life in general is crazy. And I think we really need to give ourselves a bit of grace in terms of, as much as we are so ambitious and want to tick all these boxes and be on whatever list and get whatever award, the essence of life, the people in our lives who are here today, gone tomorrow, is just family and friendships and love and communicating with your loved ones, all of that. Those tiny things that we often overlook is so important. And I think it's only until you have significant life events that it really, really then also sets into your mind. But I always try to tell anybody that I engage with, anybody that asks for advice, work hard or keep going with whatever you're doing, but on your off days it's okay to have them. Nobody's perfect, so that's just something that I always give myself grace on, in terms of, if there's a day where I can't be asked, it's okay to not. Just the next day I know what I've got to do to get back up. And then the other thing I would say is when impact feels slow
or
invisible, I think I've gotten to a point where it's never invisible now.
Love
it's
that. Love that.
It's the case where it's constant now. We have programs ongoing. We had every weekend girls doing different sorts of engagements in different parts of Ghana. So it's always there. And if I need some sort of reminder, I'll just open my WhatsApp and
One thing I kind of love about how you're building is, you mentioned this earlier in the conversation, but you're very community driven, in that as you are building, it's not kind of like, oh, me, myself and I, but you're trying to invite other people into that journey. Yeah. What are your thoughts on people who kind of believe that there's only space for one person at the top, and that kind of trying to bring others on that journey can interrupt the level of success you have? What are your thoughts towards the type of narratives out there?
No. There is plenty of space for everyone. And I think if that's how your thought process is, then it defeats the point of building a community-based or community-serving organization. What is the real reason as to why you're doing it? Is it because a lot of people now are chasing title? Right. Everybody wants to have founder in their bio. But,
CEO. LinkedIn. Founder and CEO.
It's true.
Yeah.
But you have to deep how much work that comes with it. Yeah. And I always tell anybody that like every day there's a DM. How do I set up an organization? And those who I manage to, I'm able to give the time to actually sit down and have a conversation with, I am very, transparent in the sense of, are you willing to sacrifice in order to build what it is that you want to build? Because if it's the case where you want to do a one-off charity giving back here and there, that's absolutely fine. But you claim you want to build an organization and whatnot in Ghana or wherever. What that comes with is having to deal with a system that you didn't necessarily grow up in, is dealing with a different way of life, government, slowness because it's in a different continent that's not the West. It's also dealing with, for example, in my case where we have girls on our mental health program, if a young lady in Ghana messages me now that she's having a mental health crisis, I'm going to pick up the phone and talk to her. And that sometimes goes into the hours of midnight, 1 a.m. because of how accessible I've made myself to some of the girls that we are serving. Are you willing to do so? I took 2 years out of medical training to build AKAYA to where it is now, where I'm now training. But are you willing to sacrifice 2 years of consistent income in order to build a non-profit that is just new and isn't easily accessible to all the funding that is available? No. So these are questions that you have to really ask yourself when it comes to, individuals that really want to set up community-based organizations or some social impact, whatever it is, and they think that it's an individual thing. AKAYA wouldn't be where it is today, or even Melanimics without team. Individuals that are just as passionate about the cause. So that's really, really important. And I think if you think you're going to do it by yourself, it's not sustainable. Good luck indeed.
Good luck. You go so much further when you do it with people. I think when I think about kind of the ambitious women we had in our community, people that were lucky to call friends, mentors, even the amount of time we've been blessed to know you, I think the inspiration and the encouragement you get from those around you, it fuels you like no tomorrow. Absolutely. I genuinely don't know if I would be where I am today if it wasn't for a lot of my friendships and mentors that poured into me and fed into me and kind of pass that ladder down.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think another word is collaboration. Wow. We often see ourselves like we're in competition or something. More often our goals or our mission overall is kind of the same. And there is no harm in collaborating or partnering, obviously, if visions align. Personalities also align.
That's important.
Yes. If everything aligns, then there's absolutely no harm. Good example is what me and Joyce do. AKAYA x Aranini. We started off doing our event in Ghana. We did London last month. And it's just so beautiful how you can have two women-based organizations serving differently but coming together for the same kind of cause. It's amazing. So collaboration is so important.
So what's one myth about ambition or success that you wish people would unlearn?
We're making a thing today.
You are. That I would think people should unlearn. Maybe that it's glamorous. I think, but I probably do that as well. On social media, you think on social media, you think it's glitz, glam, photo shoots, talking here, there, whatever. But the reality of the situation is, I'm sure you guys can relate. Majority of the time, you're sitting behind your laptop.
So much work.
Emails.
Admin. Me and my laptop.
Admin.
We're like this.
Canva. Oh my gosh. 75% of the time, the work happens behind the laptop. The 25% is what everybody sees. And so I think the myth that people need to unlearn, that it's a glamorous lifestyle thing to be ambitious, to succeed. As you said, success is individual. Define that for yourself and just work towards that.
Love that. Well, we're coming towards the end of our podcast already.
I have another question though. Okay, there's something I actually really wanted to know. I think, there's probably for the ambitious girlies kind of listening to this episode, and thinking about what it is that will really move the needle for them. Reflecting on your journey and where you are today, what would you say are 3 things that was pivotal to you becoming the person you are today and making the impact you make today?
Making her think even more.
3 things that were pivotal.
That really moved the needle.
That really moved the needle for you.
Really moved the needle. I would say I might go beyond 3 things, actually.
Do your thing. we want all the gems, all of it.
The more the merrier.
Right. Number 1, environment, in terms of growing up and having the desire that this will not be my full story in terms of the kind of struggles that we had growing up. Then also another thing is having a sibling with sickle cell. So that has really shaped, obviously not just my desire to become a doctor, which people still often ask me, like, are you still working as a doctor? I'm like, yes.
She's still a doctor, guys.
I'm one of the people that still ask her, by the way.
No, she's still Dr. Khadija.
Yes, I do. That definitely, but also in terms of advocating for our populations. We know sickle cell predominantly affects African Caribbeans. So it's speaking when I can on, encouraging more blood donations. And that was through the Disney campaign that we did recently. So another pivotal moment, Michelle Obama. Absolutely. Michelle Obama.
Of course, she had to be there.
In a way, for me, I've taken it as if she has directly told me and given me this advice, who am I to mess up?
What advice do you know?
In terms of, just so many, but failure was a key one that she mentioned. It's okay to fail. The most important thing is how you turn that failure into a lesson that you will learn to then try again, go harder, or to redirect yourself. So that's definitely something that's really been honed in on me. And also in terms of how she was also somebody that didn't grow up with everything, but didn't let that deter her from not amounting to something. So that's definitely key. Another crucial turning point is Melanin Medics. The journey with Melanin Medics, building that's just throwing ourselves out there, going into schools, outreach, building the programs that we successfully run today. And then lastly, I would say another pivotal moment was when my dad passed away. That was quite tough, which highlights in terms of how the point I was making about earlier in terms of just life in general. That was really, really tough. And then AKAYA. Those are some highlight moments that I really like. Love
that. Well, towards the end of our podcast episodes, we like to give like a one-liner to our ambitious girlies, sort of your takeaway from today's episode. And we usually start it off with Dear Ambitious Girlies. So what would you like to say?
Oh, God, you put me on the spot.
Take your time to think about this one, don't worry.
Dear ambitious girly, in your pursuit of trying to achieve success, definitely remember that your environment should not limit you, but also understand that as you rise, continue to bring others with you and know that you're also human. So take the time for yourself, celebrate your wins, and you've got this.
Oh, I love that. That's so powerful. I would say, dear ambitious girlies, there is space for more than one person at the top. Not to go on a tangent or anything, but I think a lot of the time when you've grown up from a background of scarcity, similar to how I have, low socioeconomic background, predominantly state school educated, first generation immigrant, it's easy to kind of continue with the mindset of scarcity as you develop and grow. But I think it comes a point in your journey of success and ambition where you need to put down the scarcity and choose a mindset of abundance. And I think if you want to grow and do great things, but you continue to see those around you as competition, or you need to push them down in order for you to rise, I think it will limit how far you can go. You go further along when you go together. So I think just understand that everyone's success looks different. There is plenty of financial opportunity at the top. There's plenty of accolades at the top. There's plenty of career options available for all of you at the top. So don't be afraid to pass the ladder down. Don't be afraid to share resources. And yeah, continue to strive for greatness together, because honestly, it will take you much more further along than trying to do the isolated path.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Damn, I got a now what?
You got to match
that. Dear ambitious girly, especially on the difficult days, remind yourself of your why and make sure that your why is authentic to you and that you're not just chasing what other people are doing, because it's on the difficult days where you really feel like giving up that your why will get you through, and your why for whatever you're doing will help you keep going and get to the next chapter.
Yay. Wow, that's so good.
Well, with that, we are going to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for coming on today. For our girlies that want to know more about you and what you do, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on all social media. It's Khadija Owusu. LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok now. Yes. And if you're interested in finding out more about the AKAYA Foundation, it's AKAYA Foundation on all social media platforms and www.akayafoundation.com.
Guys, go check out everything she does.
Go check out everything.
Thank you all so much for watching or listening to today's episode. If you are watching, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you are listening, make sure to leave a 5-star review. Make sure to send this video to all the girlies. I think there's like 1 million different gems in this video that everyone could benefit from. So make sure to share it with everyone. And also make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Boldly Ambitious Pod. And we'll see you in a new episode next time. Bye.